Power armor is a super important part of the Fallout universe, and it is no different in Fallout 76. We do need to have power armor frames in order to put together power armor, so this video is going to go over a ton of locations, 28 locations to be exact. So sit back and relax, and you should be able to find a power armor frame or multiples, and even possibly put together a whole power armor set just by going and collecting the pieces off of the frames. Or just, go pick up some fusion cores. If you're like me, anytime I need a power armor frame, I draw a blank and I can never remember where they're at, even though I see them all over the place. Now, this video is by no means comprehensive. That means that there is a ton of locations that have power armor frames. This is just 27 of the locations that are available that have power armor frames, just to try to help you out. Don't forget to hit that like button, guys, as it does greatly help out the channel. And if you're not subbed, I would surely appreciate if you subbed. Alright guys, let's get into it. The first location we will be traveling to find a power armor frame is going to be right outside 76 and right around where Meat Week occurs. So it's going to be Ford Station Tango. So you just want to, you'll load in about here, and you'll just need to go up and around the corner, and it can spawn in right here where this power armor station is. Now if you're looking for ammo, this is another great location. So make sure to look around. You never know what you might find. The second location is going to be over here at Settlers Ridge. It's not too far from Vault 76, and it's another one of the new locations that we recently got. And it will be, as soon as you spawn in, right in front of you. Location number 3, just like the other two, is not too far from Vault 76, and that is Gilman Lumber Mill. So you just will spawn in right here. You'll need to run back. And you will also need to come right back here. This is where it will spawn in at. You can get a cap stash that's also here. And then there's a vendor that sells some pretty newer, rare plans. A lot of players don't even know it's here. But they're right here. It's June Seaver, and they sell gunmetal, rusted weapon, Vault Tech survival backpack, and the Vault Tech weapon loadout paint. So make sure you stop by and pick those up. While you're up here at 76, you might as well go ahead and stop by Blue Ridge Bunkhouse. This one also has another power armor frame, and it has a bunch of other stuff, so you might want to stop and look around as well. So here is the power armor frame. This next location is Wilson Brothers Auto Repair. It's also not too far from Vault 76, and it's also not too far from Morgantown Station. Now you will load in about here. There will be about 3 or 4 scorts that you'll have to get rid of in this location, but it will be hanging out right in here when you get in. Continuing our journey, we're going to stop at one of the locations where a event occurs. Now, main events, oftentimes over in the Forest region or the lower level events, oftentimes has power armor frames right nearby. So make sure that you're looking around. The first one's going to be Mama Dolce's. So this one does have an event that spawns in here. And you just will normally spawn in facing Mama Dolce's. You'll just want to turn around and go down towards this barn. Now, there are some traps in here, so just be careful. There's also a bunch of bears up here. This is, I think, the second time ever I've actually seen them up there where you can see them. I tried to get that from my other video and I couldn't get it. Anyway, this is the power armor station, and you'll be able to find a power armor frame here at times. This next location is another event location. This is a side event. It's not a main event, meaning that you'll have to pay to actually come here. But the event is Manhunt, and it happens at the Grafton Dam. It's not too far from Morgantown or Mama Dolce's. Anyway, there are super mutants here, so you'll need to be careful when you come in. But if you go straight back into this shed, the power armor can actually spawn right here where the power armor station is. The next location is no different. It's Sons of Dane Compound. Now, One Violent Night is the main event that happens here, and you're actually going to want to go down to the house that's actually here. So the event happens up there in that, I don't know what you want to call it, building. Anyway, there will be ghouls here, and you will need to have a lockpick skill in order to get in here. There's a lot of good loot though, so if you want to stop and look around, you probably should do that. But power armor frame is right downstairs in the basement. It looks like somebody's already gotten in here. I'm going to go ahead and loot all this ammo while I'm down here though. Right beside the Sons of Dane compound is the ammo dump. Now this place has a couple of turrets that can spawn in, and you can also get a Blood Eagle and its dog. Now, there's normally a cap stash that kind of sits right here on this table. So you may want to stop and kind of look for that. Also look for it back here, because sometimes it gets blown off the table and it's just sitting on the ground. The power armor station is going to be sitting right here. And then the other turret, I think, spawns right around in there. And if you head back this way, a Cranberry Nuka Cola can actually spawn right there as well. Another location that is right near Sons of Dame and Ammo Dump is the Metal Dome. And it's also not too far from a free fast travel location, so if you're looking to save some caps, you might want to do this. But there's also Test Your Metal that is a main event that spawns here as well, and it is a mutated event. So you probably should be familiar with that one. And if you're not, you should start coming because you can get loads of caps if you complete all the tasks for the event. Anyhow, you will want to just come in. And as soon as you spawn in, which is right there, you will possibly find a power armor frame right here. This next location does not have an event that occurs here, but it is one of my favorite locations and it's on the way. So is Pleasant Valley Cabins. I actually did a video going over where you could go and like basically find everything. This place is a gold mine for stuff. So basically what you want to do is for this particular thing, you'll want to run straight down this way. Just watch out for enemies. You shouldn't really run into any as this area doesn't have any, but you want to look out for this right here. It's like an arena and it's, you know, surrounded by dead bodies. You know, who doesn't like that? Anyway, the power armor will sometimes be there. Make sure you always check the dead bodies because they always have a ton of frag grenades and stuff like that. Our next location is another event spot. This is Moonshine Jamboree, so most of you guys should probably be familiar with that, especially if you've been around for a little bit, as we have mutated events that happen here. So loads of players have been here and actually participated in this event. Anyway, where you want to go is over here around to the shack. And there is a lot of stuff that you can actually find in here, but a power armor frame is almost always up here unless somebody came by and snagged it. Right below Sunday's Brother Cabin, here's Sunday's Brother's Cabin, you can see Camp Venture. Now this location is another great place to loot. You may recognize it as there is a quest line that kind of makes you come through here, but there is a power armor frame sitting right here. All right, not too far from Camp Venture, here's Camp Venture, is the Bootlegger Shack. Now, at the Bootlegger Shack, it also does not have a power armor station. So, we will be finding it right here behind this truck. Alright, this next location, I don't really recommend you coming down here unless you have a lot of firepower, because it's really dangerous. But if you're, you know, hard up, it's not too far from the Bootlegger Shack. It is Quarry 3. Now, the Mirelurk Queen, I don't know why I couldn't think of her name for a second. She spawns down here, like right over there. You will spawn on the other side right near her. You need to follow this road all the way around. It goes around the actual perimeter. If you go any closer, you can make her spawn in. And then, you know, you'll be chased for a long time. And it won't be really worth coming down here to get this power armor, because here it is right there. Alright, so this next location is also very dangerous, but you come down here all the time, and that is Drop Site V9. This is where Scorched Earth happens. So as long as somebody hasn't clipped this, you can actually come down here and get some power armor. Now, will it be complete? No, it will not. But you can come down here and get it. It is right inside of the building. There is a lot of Scorched down here and Scorched Beasts, so just be careful. But anyway, there is the power armor station, and just in case you didn't know, there's also a stash box, and you can also find a a fusion core normally sitting like right here or right there. I can't remember which one it is. Also can be a bobblehead that spawns right there as well. There is another one located not too far from Drop Site V9, and that is Forward Station Delta. So this one's also a very dangerous location. I got like 2 Scorched Beasts on me. There's a whole horde of Scorched and ghouls, so just be aware of that if you decide to come down here at all. But it's basically right here in the middle. Continuing up the map here from V9 and the Forward Station Delta is Lost Home. Now this is one of my favorite locations, as the Scavenger Trader does spawn down here, but there's also a chance for power armor to spawn in as well. So just make sure there's no enemies in here, and the power armor can actually spawn right there. There's also a couple magazines and a couple bobbleheads that can spawn down here. Here at Lost Home, you can also get a lot of wood and brain fungus, so make sure to look around for that as well. So here's some wood right there. Let's go ahead. This is the first bobblehead location. It's right there. Some salt and pepper also spawn up here, and then this is a locked ammo box. There's also a place where some kind of rare plants spawn in, and it's right here. I actually just picked up the marine wetsuit from here the other day. Now to get to the other bobbleheads, and oh my gosh, why are you doing this to me? Anyway, to get to the other bobbleheads and magazines, you want to come right over here. And there is a magazine that can spawn right there, which we have. And then the bobblehead's right there. And then if you head across the way here, there's some of that brain fungus. More wood on the outside of this right here, and then Another magazine can spawn right there, and a fusion core right there, and you can get some pretty good mods right here. I've heard that people have gotten the Enclave Flamer here. I've definitely got the Chainsaw Flamer mod here before, and the Dual Bar. Alright, this next location is a pretty popular one, as there is a daily quest that you can actually participate in that gives some pretty rare rewards. And then there's also the there's also the triggered event riding shotgun that actually spawns in here, and that is Big Bend Tunnel East, and it's not too far from Fort Defiance here, or Lost Home for that matter. So you just want to kind of roll over here. There's also a ton of brahmin, so if you need to milk them or kill them, you definitely can.
Yeah.
And then right here is where the power armor will spawn. There's a lot of good loot. There's some cement and stuff, and make sure you come down here and talk to Vinny, so that way you can get some of these rare rewards. Right outside of Nuka World on Tour is Lewisburg Station. You can actually just run up straight from there. Now, Nuka World on Tour is a free fast travel location, but if you want to head up the tracks away from that, you will be able to find another set of power armor right up the road here. Now, there was a couple of mole miners here. I don't normally run into a whole lot of bad guys, but it is right here. It says jobs now or else, and that is the location that you'll be looking for. Also, right outside of Nuka World on Tour is the Burning Mine, and if you go inside, there's a couple of mole miners in here normally, but here is the power armor that's normally here. A lot of folks don't realize it's here. Now, this location also has a power armor frame, and it's not too far from Nuka World on Tour. Now, this place is full of blood eagles, so I really wouldn't suggest that you come down here unless you need a bunch of blood eagles. But I'm going to go ahead and show you where it's at real quick, because there's so many blood eagles. So there is the power armor frame right there, and you can actually see the power armor station right behind it. Alright, this next location should look awfully familiar. This is one of the 2 locations where you can do load bearing at, or you can turn in your claim tokens. If you're not sure what claim tokens are, definitely check out my video that I'll be linking in the description below, and you should see it at the top right. Alright, so anyhow, this is where you load in at. The claim token machine's over that way. Anyway, you want to head up the hill here and around the corner. And here is the power armor station with the power armor frame. The next location is Camden Park. It's not too far from the Rusty Pick. This is another location I come to in a lot of my videos. Anyway, it is located in the middle of the roller coaster is where you're going to find this power armor frame. So you're just going to kind of run across and jump over the fence here and then run inside, so that way you can get this thing. Now, there are some scorched, so you'll have to take care of them. But there's not too many, and they're not too bad. Wait for some of these to die there. Anyway, you'll just run right over here, and then the power armor station is right there, and this is where it normally spawns. And there's also a bobblehead and a magazine that spawn right in here beside it. I'll take you. Anyway, there's where the magazine spawns, and this is where the bobblehead spawns. But there's a ton of them that spawn in here, and definitely check out some of my other location videos, because when I come in here most of the time, I go over the entire thing. But this one's a little long, so. Alright, the next location is going to be Silva Homestead. Now, this is where it's in relation to Vault 76, so it's right here. Now, Project Beanstalk does actually... What is that? Project Beanstalk is one of the events that actually spawns here, so you should recognize this right here. And if you watch my Scavenger Trader video, this is another location where she can spawn as well. Apparently there's a bunch of rad roaches here as well, but you want to go into this location right here, this barn, and you will find your power armor frame right here. This next location should look familiar to almost every player, and that is Emmett Mountain Disposal Site. Now, Radiation Rumble happens here. I wouldn't really suggest that you come up here unless you are going to be doing Radiation Rumble, just because you have to fight your way through some enemies, and then you also have to deal with trying to come inside. And, I mean, it's not too bad, but if you're in the area, it definitely doesn't hurt to stop by and see if you can pick up stuff. But anyway, you just want to go right around the corner here. And the power armor station or power armor frame will be sitting right there. Just go through the security gate, and there it is. And also, you can pick up a fusion core while you're here. It can be right here. Right beside Emmett Mountain is Middle Mountain Pit Stop. Now, this area is where Safe and Sound occurs. You can actually find power armor just sitting right here outside the event. And it has a pretty good chance to spawn here, so make sure you stop by and check that out. This next location is a pretty familiar site as well, as uranium fever actually occurs here. It's not too far from Middle Mountain or from Emmett Mountain Disposal Site, or White Springs for that matter. So there's 3 locations right here that you can come and look for a power armor frame. Anyway, this is where the power armor frame can actually be located. If you're ever in need of oil, this place is loaded with canisters and everything else that you need to find oil in. Plus, not to mention, these guys drop some really important types of scrap. So you have the mine suit breather, the mine suit scrap, which has got black titanium. It's one of the best sources of scrap for that. And then there's one more. Let's see if they dropped any for me. I don't see any this time, but there's one other item that they dropped that's some type of breathing device or apparatus. Anyway, those things have the best scrap. So make sure you stop by and check those out. Oh, I almost forgot. There are 2 cap stashes right outside of where the area spawns in at. And the first one's normally standing right here, but I've been shooting my gun, so it's over here, but it's normally right there. And then the second one is right near the entrance here, and you can actually already see it. It's right here. So make sure you check those out. And there's also a ton of canned dog food. Just come up here and loot this place. You won't. Alright guys, don't forget to hit that like button. Hopefully this video has helped you find some power armor frames or even power armor pieces if that's the route that you're going. Otherwise, thank you guys so much. I'll see you in the wasteland. And a huge shout out to all my channel members. The Death Claws. Where my Death Claws at? You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for having my back. Without you, none of this would be possible. And I truly mean that. Thank you so much. Take care, and I'll see you in the wasteland.